Hey, it's Chad Tominuk with TSI Today. We headed north up to Edmonton to spend some time with Sports Central. Next up, Janna Tominuk. We're going to talk a little bit about Sports Central and what they do for northern Alberta communities. I'm Chad Tominuk, Chief Growth Officer with Tridon Communications. We're talking to industry leaders about the technology that's changing their business. This is TSI Today. Hey, it's Chad Tominuk here with TSI Today. Thanks again for joining us. We are back here in Edmonton at Sports Central with another guest. Janna, thank you so much for joining me today.
Chad, thanks for being here.
Awesome. You know, a lot of our TSI Today videos are all about technology and how technology impacts our world. And while technology is certainly part of sport everywhere, we've taken a little bit of a detour, if you will, to talk about some really, really important things to us, and of course that's Sports Central. But for our viewers, can you talk to us a little bit about what Sports Central is and what it does for the northern communities of Alberta?
Yeah, absolutely. So for 33 years, we've been collecting gently used sports equipment. We repair, refurbish it, and redistribute it to kids in families facing financial hardship, serving kids that are 4 to 17 years old, and we serve all the way from Red Deer to the northern Alberta border. We do two major programs. So one is our on-site outfitting, where kids get referred individually to us and we are able to bring them in and get them outfitted with the gear that they need. And then the second program that we do is community outreach, which essentially is bulk shipments. So not everybody can get here, so we're able to get that equipment shipped directly to them and get them playing.
That's great. Sports Central's motto is changing lives through sport. I have to say that I was very fortunate to play sports as a young person, and I do believe it shaped my personal and professional career. But I do have to ask, has there ever been somebody that potentially you've helped out that has gone on to play professional sports of some kind?
Well, our claim to fame is actually that we gave Alfonso Davies a bike, and he went on to be a fairly significant athlete, obviously in the sport of soccer. And so, you know, we touched his life, not directly with soccer, but in getting him active and being on a bike and riding around with his friends and playing and having some fun.
That's great. So that brings up another topic, really, and that is, it's not just hockey. You know, right here we're in the back, in the midst of everything that you guys do so well. We've got hockey pads everywhere, skates, the bin behind me, sticks. But it's not just hockey. You're helping kids with so many different things. A bike. I mean, a lot of kids out there don't get a bike every year, and you're helping with that. But soccer balls as well. Can you talk to us a little bit about some of the other sports you're involved in?
Yeah, absolutely. And we are certainly most well known for bikes and hockey, but we actually do 20 different sports. So right now we're obviously sitting in winter, so we're putting out lots of snowboards, where we have great partnerships with the ski hills, where we're actually able to give the kids passes as well. There's lots of cross-country skiing that goes out, everything from lacrosse to badminton to you name it. So, you know, we're looking for equipment to be donated in all of those sports. So getting the awareness out that we are more than bikes and hockey is really important.
So is there a list of equipment that you guys could use some help with today? Do we need more goalie equipment? I know how expensive that is, and we could always use new goalies. But is there a list of equipment that we could tell our viewers that, you know, they could help with?
Absolutely. So we need all equipment for all sports, but there's some particular needs that we need right now, and lots of that happens seasonally for us. And for us, a lot of our planning is seasonally, right? Like obviously we're in hockey and winter season right now, but we're prepping everything for spring so that we're ready for spring. So right now we're in need of small snowboards that are under 140 centimeters, all size skates, but in particular, our shelves are empty of skate size 4 to 7, which is really that prime age of a lot of skating. So we're looking to get a lot more skates in that sizing. All baseball equipment, particularly cleats, pucks. And one thing that we're always low on as well is 20 and 24 inch wheel size bikes. Again, it's sort of that sweet spot of riding that's the 6 to 12-year-old. Maybe that bike is passed around a little bit more in families, but that's a size that we need. Badminton is actually very popular here. So badminton rackets we're looking for, and then any kind of ball. So whether it be a basketball, a football, soccer balls, playground balls, you name it, we need that. Sometimes what happens with families too is that we might be outfitting one of the kids and 3 kids come in. We are not sending 2 kids out without something. So we'll often grab a ball or grab an extra skateboard or a scooter or whatever we can, so that all the kids leave with something. It just, it's the right thing to do, and our hearts are pretty soft here, so we make sure everybody leaves with a piece of equipment.
That's fantastic. So I tell you what, folks, if you're in your garage or in your basement right now and you got some gear, they can always use some help down here. Sports Central's located on Wayne Gretzky Avenue. Please come on down and drop those off. I want to talk a little bit about the young athletes. So something that struck me the first time I walked through here a year or two ago was safety and how paramount that was. I think, a little earlier with Mark, I mentioned, when I played hockey, we didn't wear helmets and elbow pads and that kind of stuff. Not all the time anyways. But for you guys, it's really, really important. So you're making sure that when you're setting somebody up with hockey gear, you're getting them all the right safety equipment at the same time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, safety is paramount for us. One of the things that we're able to do through our Put a Lid on a Kid campaign is every kid that goes out of here, whether it's riding a bike or in, playing hockey or lacrosse, ringette, you name it, is they go out with a brand new helmet. And also with our bikes, we put a bell on every bike for safety. So we do a lot of equipment repair in here as well. So last year we repaired about 2,300 pieces of equipment, and even in the repair of that equipment is making sure it's safe for the kids to use. And that's why with our equipment donations as well, is we ask for stuff that's 10 years older or newer, right? Because it boils down to safety. So we're not putting something on a kid that isn't safe for sure.
You're not putting a used bucket on somebody's head. We're getting new gear that way, of course, cups when required, proper shin, knee, elbow pads, all that kind of stuff, hand guards.
Yeah, and there's the odd things that we, end up buying through some of our grants and partners that we have corporately. Jocks and Jills are one, right? Nobody really seems to like to talk about those for whatever reason, but everybody needs to wear one. So, we make sure that the kid goes out of here fully outfit and protected, because the risk is that they don't have the financial means to buy that piece of equipment, which means that they might play without it. So that's just not an option, is to not equip them 100%.
That's fantastic. One of the last questions I ask all my guests is how they can get more young people involved in technology. Given what we're talking about today, let's twist that up just a little bit. How can our viewers, more people in Alberta or outside of Alberta, how can they get involved with Sports Central?
There's lots of ways for everybody. Number one is if people are interested in volunteering, they can do that both individually as our groups. So as it is, we have about 8,000 hours a year that are donated by our volunteers. So that is significant help to our organization. So volunteering is one option. Donating the equipment, as you've talked about, I think in every household is unused equipment. And that's all we're trying to get, is that stuff that's sitting in the garage or sitting in the basement. Is if you can get that to us, it's amazing how a ball glove or a ball can make a kid happy. Other groups will do a group volunteer drive for us. We've had neighborhoods where everybody lives in a cul-de-sac and they fill up the back of a pickup and somebody drives it down here. Or we recently had a physiotherapy company do an equipment drive over a couple weeks and then brought us the equipment. So, we saw a 26% increase last year and 48% the year before. So we're at the point where we're actually running out of equipment. So we need to get that equipment from people's homes that is being unused. There's organizations too that hold fundraisers for us. They might have a 50-50 or a bake sale or a golf tournament, you name it, and they donate those proceeds to us, which is really fantastic. So where we have those gaps in equipment, we can actually buy those. And then of course, if people are able to contribute financially, everybody operates on money, and that's a really big help to us. So, there's lots of ways to get involved, and we'd love to talk to anybody who is interested in any of those ideas.
I love that. I think that, I've said it before. Albertans always help Albertans. There's just such a great community in Alberta. I'm so proud to be part of that, and I thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. We're going to head over to the round table here in just a little bit and have a further chat. If people wanted to get a hold of you to get involved in Sports Central, what would they do?
People can certainly reach out to me on LinkedIn. We've got lots of great information on our website, which is sportscentral.org. And there's an email address on there, thekid@sportscentral.org. And we'd be happy to answer any questions, talk to you. And, we're all in this for the kids, and there's not a family or person that sports doesn't resonate with. So we're all doing this as a community, and we're going to keep doing that for hopefully another 33 years.
Janna, thanks so very much for helping out.
Awesome.
Thanks for watching TSI Today. I'm Chad Tomaszewski, Chief Growth Officer with Tridon Communications. Catch up with us next time when we learn more about technology and how it's changing business today.